Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Okay, so the thing that I came across was C, urinate.
You going to go with that?
I'm going to go with urinate all day, every day.
I'm not an 8. You're an 8.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week we choose a popular saying and take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, and if we're lucky, educational dive into its origins, its usage, its meaning. But mostly, we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I am Skinny.
What's happening?
Not much, man. I was enjoying like your perspective on things.
My perspective.
Yeah, you have just such a good outlook.
Did I say something before?
No, I like the way you frame things in life. Like it's cracking me up.
Huh?
Yeah,
huh.
For some reason, I don't know.
I'm. Is that a compliment?
I think so.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Thank you. Anyway,
well,
I can't
good.
tell. I can't tell if you're teasing me, if you're making fun of me.
Why would I possibly tease you?
There are so many reasons.
There's no reason why. Okay, I actually have a few, but we should probably let the people know what's even happening today. What's the idiom du jour?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna play a little clip.
Okay.
It's from The Office where Steve Carell and Ricky Gervais meet, and it's buried in the conversation, but I couldn't resist using it because of the two people that are in it. Let's see if you can pick it up.
Sure.
In there. Listen.
Taking the Mickey, you picked on the wrong person.
He says, if you're taking the Mickey, you're picking on the wrong person. Let's try again.
Taking the Mickey, you picked on the wrong person.
If you're taking the Mickey, you're taking on the wrong person. Yeah, taking the Mickey. Take the Mickey. Taking the Mickey. That is today's idiom. Of course, this is a British phrase that we don't hear too often around these parts.
I'd heard it we use an alternate version, but even that is still very British.
Am I just turning down yours?
I don't know.
Did you get quieter?
No, everything's fine by me.
I don't know what.
Are you messing around with me right now?
No, it's.
Are you taking the Mickey?
I'm taking the
now?
Mickey. It's so loud in my ears that I went to turn it down and it's making no difference.
Well, maybe you're turning the wrong knob.
Oh, I was.
Well, mine's louder.
Yours, yeah.
Mine's louder for sure. Mine was fine. It's all good.
Okay.
Sorry, Village Idiom children.
You gotta fill 30 minutes somehow.
There seems to be technical problems all around today.
I planned all that. I was taking the Mickey. Do you remember that time I was doing a public presentation, and you were in the crowd, and there had been several people that went before me, who had PowerPoints and video clips and things like that. I had nothing but my notes on a stand. And so as I gave my 30-minute or so presentation, I was like, actually, if we look at the chart here, and nothing would come up on the screen.
I remember this.
And back to the booth. Hey, do you have that one, that chart slide one?
Do you guys have that clip there?
Yeah, and then, no. That's okay. Move on. Explain what it would have looked like if they could have seen it. And
there was no clip.
There was no clip. And part of my message was the value in fun. And so the very last thing I said before getting off stage, and sometimes fun is just for you. For example, every time I ask for a clip, and by now there's like a few guys running around up there looking for the thumb drive.
Where's the thing? Yeah. You didn't give us a thumb drive.
I'm like, yeah, there was nothing.
No clip? That was so torturing.
I was taking the Mickey.
Yeah, you have to know you and know that kind of humor that goes along with
that. Is it taking the Mickey out of them or taking the Mickey on them?
So yeah, I don't know.
Taking the Mickey.
I don't know if it's profane or not, but we'll at least use it once.
Oh yeah,
with its subversion or more common version.
Let's throw out. I planned on doing this earlier. I forgot. We keep this a G-rated podcast.
Absolutely.
But there will be a word that I'll be saying later.
Oh, you're gonna say it later?
That is
get out of the way.
That is tame.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it is maybe not for every ear.
It is a 4-letter word.
It's a 4-letter word beginning.
Taking a Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is another English slang. You want to just go ahead and say it?
Well, it's in the origins. Okay. And it goes off left a little bit. So there will be a word. You can just giving you advance warning that you may want to listen to the rest of this episode before you let.
Yeah, it's not even a bad
Isaac
word,
listen.
but it's very much another English word where you've heard that in English television shows.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Taking the Mickey. I had no problem
finding.
The other one.
The other one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so the gist is like the poking fun at, having fun with, some sort of jokey thing. When you're talking about public speaking, I remember when I was in seminary and we were doing practice sermons, and you'd have to get up and do a little 5-minute sermon for each other.
5 minutes.
A little 5-minute job. Yeah.
That seems easy.
Yeah, it's like blindfolded now. But when you're just kind of getting into the things,
it's daunting.
So, anyways, he's standing behind the podium, and he's doing his thing.
A classmate?
Yeah, a classmate standing behind a podium, fully covers him, and then he steps out at one point, and he's got his shirt pulled through his zipper, and so his shirt, his white shirt, is kind of dangling out there like a wiener.
That wasn't the word, by the way.
Yeah, that's not the word. That's 6 letters. For you Scrabble aficionados.
Wow, that was quick.
That's 6 letters. Some people people say it's 7, but they're lying.
It's a 6-letter word, people.
Yeah. And so that was the big crack up.
Was it intentional?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It was just to mess with people.
Okay.
And so it's like, it was plain as day with a white shirt through the zipper of dark pants.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so that's great. But I came across some things I thought you would find interesting.
So when we talk about people who become clergy, there's some fun and games. Like, they're real people. They have humor.
They're real people.
Yeah, that's good to know. I think that's good to know for everybody. Some are real people.
Some. And then they devolve over time. But here we go. Okay, so some reasons why you might tease somebody.
Okay.
I came across this little list, and it had several.
Is bald on there?
No, not that kind of, like more on the psychology side.
Okay.
And then you can just kind of comment on, you tease a person with whom you have strong positive feelings because you want that person to know you see them and acknowledge them.
That's the classic grade school pull on the girl's hair in front of you.
Right. You have some strong positive
feelings. I mean, that's what you do with little kids, like to make them feel welcome. You're
hair.
Like, yeah, buddy.
Hey, good to see you, yank.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
It's all teasing.
Yeah, I don't care if you're just like coming through treatment or if you're like varying diverse, like if you've got just one of those little kid brush cuts. I grab a handful of that hair just to tease them.
You know what?
Little brush cut.
So the whole letting them know you're seen thing. There's a normalcy to teasing someone. I don't mean hurt their feelings. Like, I don't think that's what you mean. But there's a normalcy.
So this will get there.
I'll let you finish the list because I have an example of that I cherish, truthfully.
Okay, the second one, which I think, because it is intended to be playful. Okay, so the second one. It's a good way to gauge a person, depending on the response you get, will determine your future interactions with them.
100%. Yeah, you throw out a couple softballs and you're like, it's not my crowd.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I'm never hanging out with you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
If it's like, you throw out a little joke and they're like, actually, my mom has brown hair, so I don't really appreciate brunette jokes. You're like,
Good times.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, glad you're here. And
anyway, let me introduce you to some other people, so I can move on to fun people.
Exactly. So you use it as a way.
That's for sure a gauge.
Okay, the third one, a subtle form of bullying.
Yeah, well, of course it is. It's not even subtle.
You think it's like a power play?
I mean, it can be subtle bullying, but it also could be outright bullying.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually surprised that you even understood what I said there, to be honest with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Next one? What's the next one on the list?
Okay, and my final one. They just want to make you feel uncomfortable.
For sure.
Which I think...
So that is not my version of personally how I tease. I actually hate that, but I know people that do that.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Watching people be uncomfortable.
Let me correct myself. I have for sure intentionally made people uncomfortable, but only people who I also want to know that I appreciate them. Think the voice that introduces this podcast. Mm-hmm. I have said things to make her uncomfortable. That sounds worse than I mean, but like put her on the spot or said things for other people to hear where there's joy in watching her squirm.
Yeah. She's a petite thing with red hair, and so there's just like a plethora of stuff to throw at her.
Oh, she gives it too.
It'll go over her head, but on many levels.
Just to be fair, she'll dish it out.
Oh yeah, she's got that. But so these different types of teasing. So showing strong positive feelings towards somebody.
Yeah.
Getting a gauge on a person. A little bit of bullying, and you just want to see them uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's
So-
good.
I've maybe referred to this one before, but I do this with my coworkers by adjusting the seating before every meeting, where I remove chairs,
Yeah.
or change the amount of chairs on the side. Like, so our particular boardroom table is like, I don't know, 10 feet long. You can probably fit 10 dozen.
Because
people
everybody
around.
has their go-to spot.
Everybody has their go-to spot. So my first thing is to go to someone else's go-to spot.
Right.
You got to sit where someone would normally sit, except the boss. Don't mess with him. But sometimes I'll double stack his chairs so that there's 2 at the end,
Yeah.
and then just watch him like just look like sad, and then move one, and just that alone, I just do it.
He
for
doesn't
myself.
double cheek it.
No, he doesn't. No, but I do it just for myself.
Yeah, because
Like,
he has to move
just
something.
that satisfaction, or maybe one chair on one side and all the other chairs on the other. So there's the right amount of chairs for the amount of staff
Right.
that's there. But then
They're
it's
all
like,
on one side, like the Last Supper.
yes,
Table for 26. There's only 13 of you. Yeah, but we're all gonna,
we're just
we're all
on
going to
one
sit on the
side.
same side.
This might turn into something. So, anyways, yeah, it's just you just want to see how are people going to react.
Yeah, I think taking the Mickey though has a bit an implication of harsher, doesn't it? Are you taking the Mickey? Like, are you picking? Are you
joking? Are you joking with me right now?
Yeah, I guess it's all in the tone and the meaning. I was gonna say teasing someone to show you that you love them. So this is a real story. This is not funny, but my aunt, who passed away a long time ago.
This is a great story. Go ahead.
Hang on, she had MS. That's what she dealt with for.
Like she's not an Apple person.
What did I say? Oh my God. I thought I said the wrong thing at first. She had multiple sclerosis.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she, gradually got worse and worse, couldn't control her muscle movements and basically no longer had speech. My dad, everybody would go in there and go, "Oh, Judy," and like give her cuddles and whatever. And my dad would go in there and tease her like a sibling. Like make
Right.
fun of her.
Judy
not
wants
make
to-
fun of her disability ever, but he would do things.
Give her a ribbing to let her know she's
to the
one
point
of
of her, like, you wonder if she's okay because she's convulsing, like she has no control of her muscles. But
You made Auntie Judy convulse.
everybody walked away. So
were they
not
bugging him? We're like, Ernie, you're such a jerk. Why
not
would you do that
everybody
to her?"
appreciated my dad, but I saw my aunt.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, you have to remember that's your sister, not just an oh poor you.
Okay.
And teasing was the method that he did it. And I'm like, teasing can be an amazing, loving tool. I watched that. I've never forgotten it.
So I was just away on this camping trip. Fantastic time. And part of the journey was I saw this little placard at the gas station on Wednesday nights. The indigenous band in the area holds like a little powwow, a little drum ceremony, beads and dancing. I'm like, I'm going to go to that. We're going to go to this thing and jump in there. And so we're watching all the performances and things happen. And the gentleman, indigenous guy, grew up in the area, retired in the area, been there his whole life. And we were talking about there's this song was playing. It's like, oh, it's so and so's birthday. It's birthday song. It's like you're welcome to jump in there. And I was kind of like, oh man, this is kind of a neat opportunity to jump in on some indigenous dance thing. He's like, it's like we're not going to scalp you. Which I was like, it's funny because he said it. Yeah. So it was kind of like bantery. So it was enough of a loving push.
Yeah.
I jumped in there and
That's great.
Got in on the dads. Yeah, we're not going to scalp you.
That's great.
Yeah, it's just teasy. It's playful. Yeah, not like some. Yeah, he was.
That's great.
Yeah,
Like, actually.
it's all good. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well,
what do you got?
we're going to get into origins in a second, but why don't I first give you a couple of options? Let's play the usual game. I'm going to give you 3 options. Do you already know where it comes from or not really?
I have. Yes.
Okay.
I have some. I have I came across some things, yes. So I'm gonna see if the one thing I came across is what you have on your list.
How do you know what I have on my list?
I'm not even looking away.
All right. Is it did the idiom "taking the Mickey" did it come from a brief 1969 Disney incident? Or B, did it come from a major theft during the Prohibition?
That kind of Mickey. That's
or
funny.
did it come from urinating?
Okay, so the thing that I came across was C, urinate.
Are you going to go with that?
I'm going to go with urinate all day, every day.
I'm not an 8. You're an 8. I'm trying to find...
I wish.
I'm trying... Did I get rid of it?
Which? I don't know.
We might have to sing Origins.
Okay.
I've got no file here.
I said some words.
Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one will know. I looked behind. I said something. And then came from another mind. Origin.
Yep. Technical nightmare. Just doesn't seem not everything's working properly today.
Maybe we're just taking the Mickey out of them. Maybe we have no technical difficulties at all. Did you ever think about that?
That's so deep.
All right, so there are various forms of this. We already said there's take the Mickey. There's also take the Mick. It just got shortened. There's take the Mike, take the Michael. All of those apparently are versions of the same thing. But take the Mickey is the most often heard in pop culture. It's the most often used in print. And it's... okay, so there's a few reported origin stories, so there's nothing for sure. Nothing for sure here. But it is sometimes reported that the phrase originates as a variant of the slang phrase, take the piss. And that's the word I was warning about earlier.
The P word.
Take the P. And the Mickey, this is something I learned today. The Mickey refers to micturate.
It was the first time I'd heard this word.
Did you look it up?
Yes.
Yeah. Micturate. I've never heard the word before.
Same.
Literally means urinate.
Yes.
So
I'm going to use it in regular speech now.
I got to step out. I got to micturate.
Yeah.
So that's potentially where the word Mickey comes from is micturate, which means urinate. Micturate. Which
so
seems...
great.
So it seems kind of fancy. There's no like trace it back through articles to totally support this view. And so, but it is generally accepted that the phrase came about during the British rhyming slang. We've talked about rhyming slang a bunch of times. So taking the piss does take its part as rhyming slang because there's a character that nobody can find the origin to named Mickey Bliss. So taking the piss out of someone, which means to tease, became taking the Mickey Bliss. So you take the Mickey Bliss out of somebody. And then it got shortened to taking the Mickey, got shortened even more to taking the Mick. And so an early citation, I guess, of the longer form, taking the Mickey Bliss, I couldn't come across one, but there was enough examples of, yeah, I've heard this said, yes, my friend says this. Taking the Mickey Bliss probably is the longer version of that. So it does go back to at least the 1930s. First form of the phrase in print that I could find was actually take the mic. Was a 1935 Cockney cavalcade. It says he wouldn't let Pancake take the mic out of him. So that was 1935. So the precise wording, take the Mickey, doesn't appear, at least that I could find, till a few years later. The earliest one that I found is in J. Henry's Who Lie and Gowl, 1952. Says, I should have been doing this in a British accent. I can't just snap into it. What's something I could... She's a trying so hard to get into a British accent.
Taking the Mickey
I expect
there, mate.
she'll try and take the Mickey out of you, all right? Don't you stand for nothing. There you go. So that was 1950. What did I say? 1952. So rhyming slang, if you have missed every single episode before this, is a type of slang that replaces words with rhyming words or phrases which have nothing to do with what they were saying and sometimes become more powerful in their use. And they have, so for example, in the phrase, there's a rhyming slang phrase said, I don't have a Scooby, which means I don't have a clue. So Scooby-Doo used to be I don't have a Scooby-Doo because it rhymes with clue. I have no clue. I have no Scooby. So that's how rhyming slang works. If you don't know the etymology of the rhyming slang, you have no idea what is being said. I remember one that we've talked about before was dog bone. just wait by the dog bone, which was telephone.
Wow.
So wait for my call on the dog bone. So Mickey, Mike, Michael, Mickey Bliss, Mike Bliss, Mickey, Mike, all rhyming slang for the noun
Fascinating.
urine. We'll use that word now.
Yep.
Micturate. So to take the Mikey out of something is to take the micturate. So if urinate is urine, is micturate?
Which from the band, Michter. Carry a laser gun.
You're thinking Mick Jagger.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, you're right.
So it's all to take the urine out of someone, which is to tease someone.
Now, do you think this comes from, sometimes it's not happened to me, but you've laughed so hard that you've wet yourself?
I used to have a friend. I still have a friend.
Yeah, whatever.
He doesn't do this anymore.
I used to have a friend.
We used to
humble brag.
We used to tease him or tickle him, like when we were in grade school, till he wet his pants. Like,
that is terrible.
It was for sure going to happen.
I told my
if we
son,
pushed him.
wetting your pants is nothing to be embarrassed of, but he still teased me about doing it anyway.
That's great. Yeah, so there it is. I
wonder if that's what it's from. That you're actually wetting yourself, being teased.
No, you know what? It's okay. I was gonna skip this, but I think we have time. So, you remember the book Classical Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue?
Oh yes,
which you gave me for Christmas or my birthday.
I
so this is where it gets even sketchier. So this has to do with this is terrible. I hope you listen to this episode first. It has to do with the morning erections caused by buildup of urine in the bladder.
Oh, okay.
So it's called piss proud, which is funny.
Wow.
Piss proud, having a false erection. So it became a slang in and of itself. Like that, if that guy was too cocky, he was piss proud, meaning.
What does piss poor mean?
I think we talked about this. I think it came from not having a pot to piss in.
I see. Sorry.
So in other words,
let's clean this episode
an
up.
erection that is not of value.
Okay.
You're piss proud, and so it is possible.
Well, I'm
that
glad we had time for that.
Taking the Mickey Bliss out of you has to do with you're too cocky because you're bliss proud. You're a fake. You know what?
Yeah.
And so you take the Mickey out of you. You take if you take the micturate out of you when you're urine proud.
Yes. Oh, it's interesting.
It levels you, so to speak. It puts a limp in your step.
Okay. Limp biscuit. I got it.
So
wow.
Similarly,
I got way weirder than I thought I was going to do.
Speaking of slanging rhyme and along sort of in the same ballpark, snake's hiss was also taking the pee out of somebody. Okay. Snake's hiss. Cousin's sis. But here's where I was going to mention alcohol is a part of this because some of these examples of slang, rhyming slang, have to do with how drunk you are, not teasing you. So there's a overlapping of
correlation between the booze,
urine and drinking and all that kind of stuff. So
that's the underbelly. That's like the 18A.
Yeah. So that's about as dirty as this podcast has ever got. But
it's not even that bad. But it's just
I felt like it was too connected to not mention the.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you did.
The pee proud.
Yep. Well,
falsities.
I did come across this little gem just to change the tone up for our younger illegitimate children. Okay. What do you call a Greek philosopher who plays hard to get?
A Greek philosopher
who plays hard to get.
Let's see. And plays hard to get.
You ready?
Yeah.
A Socrates.
Okay.
There you go. That juveniled it up. That take it back down. We back G again.
That's a good dad joke.
Okay, good.
Dad joke at a Greek philosopher's level.
Now that we've got that sorted out, we are heading into the end of things. We should head into the direction of some riddlinks. What do you say?
False direction. Riddlink is a game we like to play. It takes two-part trivia-based question, requires a two-part overlapping answer, overlapping by syllables, words, or even a full sentence. So, for example, last week, our idiom was scare the living daylights out of you. And you didn't get this one. I'm almost sure you didn't look it up afterwards, but let's see if this jogs your memory.
Okay.
This John Carpenter movie with sunglasses that show the truth will scare this out of you. So you can talk it through. You know that scare this out of you is our idiom, scare the living daylights. So living daylights. But this John Carpenter movie, much lesser known. Don't forget this was given to us by Beetlebat, faithful listener.
National treasure.
Very close. The movie is called They Live.
I don't think I've seen that. Okay.
So it's not, the answer isn't They Live. The answer isn't Living Daylights. The correct answer is They Living Daylights.
Right.
Yeah. And that's how you play Riddlink.
Fantastic. Well, I've got a couple prepared.
I've got 3.
Do you want to go first then?
Sure. Okay, you ready?
Uh-oh.
What?
What if you have mine?
Then I still have 2.
Perfect. Let's go.
You know what? I'm going to do this one first because I have a feeling this might be yours.
Okay.
This word I learned today that means urinate is a restricted movie.
Oh, go ahead for the one more time.
This word I learned today that means urinate is a restricted movie.
That would be micturated R.
Yeah, that's right. So you didn't use micturate.
I didn't use that one. Okay, I got one for you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. He joked around in England as Ivan Vanko from Iron Man 2.
Oh, wow.
He
Say it
joked,
again.
He joked around in England as Ivan Vanko from Iron Man 2. Or Marv from Sin City.
Was that Mickey Rourke? Oh, wait. Taking.A.Mickey Rourke?
Taking.A.Mickey Rourke.
Wow, there we go. I like it. Okay, let me give you another one. I got 2 more, so I'm going to choose one here. I'll give this one to you, and we'll save the other one.
Okay.
This 9.5 weeks Mickey is a killer whale. This 9.5 weeks Mickey is a killer whale. Unless I've got the wrong actor.
9.5 weeks. Is a killer whale. 9.5 weeks. I know the film. I don't know the people from the film. Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Right. So what's the answer?
Taking.A.Mickey Rourke?
No. This 9.5 weeks Mickey. So I'm already using the word Mickey.
Okay.
Is a killer whale.
Well, so Rourke.
That's it.
That's hilarious.
Rourke.
I specifically shied away from the classic, like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, me too.
Mickey Mantle. I'm like, I'm going to pick a weird one. I'm an odd Mickey Rooney. Oh, man. Funny to nail the same Mickey. Okay, I got a second one here. Village Idiom children, chime in on this.
Let's go.
Ground beef patty in gravy. Ground beef patty in gravy is being teased in England. Ground beef patty in gravy is being teased.
Is it just beef steak in the Mickey?
There is it's a specific
Something steak.
Yes.
Ground beef in gravy.
The legitimate children are screaming it at their
Not beef steak.
It is a Salisbury steak.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. Salisbury steaking the Mickey. That's a good
Salisbury
one.
steak in the Mickey.
That's a good one.
We got one to send us home?
You know what's funny is I still have 2. So I'll give you one and we'll still leave one. I went over top. I think because remember that time Beetlebat gave us a bunch?
Okay.
I think I just filled in all my blanks not paying attention to how many I was making. So how about this one?
Sure.
We'll use this one because you've already given a hint out there. This Wallaby Wannabe is this Night at the Museum Mickey. This Wallaby Wannabe is this Night at the Museum Mickey.
Wallaby Wannabe. Wallaby Wannabe. I'm like in Australia.
Yeah.
A kangaroo.
Mickey Roo.
Mickey Rook.
Are you kidding? You've said this name.
Have I?
Yeah.
Mickey Rooney.
Yeah. Kangaroony.
Okay. Is a wallaby a kangaroo?
It's a smaller kangaroo, yeah.
I just don't have my marsupial knowledge like I should.
But you got the word marsupial.
Wow.
Okay, I got one more. We're going to leave it hanging. Tell everybody how they can...
Illegitimate children, reach out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
Here's the final one. You can kill a vampire by driving this through his heart while also Britishly teasing him. One more time. You can kill a vampire by driving this through his heart while also Britishly teasing him.
And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
Did you get that one right away?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the illegitimate children are going to have a good time with that one.
Oh. Did it slip a little bit?
I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Oh, wait. I'm Jurassic Mark.
I'm Skinny.
I wanted the right one.
Last 3 minutes gone.